today we're going to start building the bed frame and the lounge area. So I'm using standard stud wood, which is 66 by 38 mil, 38 by 63 mil, a standard box kind of design. So I'm going to be building effectively three simple boxes. And if you've seen the other video around how I did the kitchen unit, it's going to work on a very similar basis. Each of the units, like that, we'll build three of those, which will provide 120 centimetres out into the back of the van for the lounge and the seating area, which will extend into the bed. So let's get going. So we've got our three bed frames. Just a box design. So effectively two pieces of 4 foot timber, 3 supports on each, and then we'll put supports in the middle, and that will be the outline for the bed frame, with a piece on the end there as the pull out, just for the about an extra 50 or 60 centimetres for the fold out to convert it into a full bed. Other than that, this will be pretty much the full size of the lounge area, about 120 centimetres across, and 4 foot across that way, so almost a square in actual fact. So here we're looking at the back view of the bed. And I've got a couple of choices here, and I've designed it with this in mind. So at the moment, this across here is about 136 centimetres by approximately 124, which is 4 foot by just about 5 foot at the moment, which obviously isn't big enough obviously to sleep in. Now what I'm going to test out is putting the hardboard literally right up to the cladding on either side, and it will be a fixed bed. Obviously there won't be any pull out or slats on this to make it full size, and that's really just so that it's permanently up. It's not actually as big as it looks it's deceiving when you've got the camera on it. It's big enough, don't get me wrong. It comes down to the side door, but my view is, what you do most of the time when you're in the van, you either cook, which is what the kitchen up there is for, or you're either sitting down, reading, doing something on your laptop, sleeping. So I figured that I'd want something that's really comfortable, and that would be kind of a central thing, almost the same as you would with you'd have with a traditional sofa, effectively. Right, you can sit on it, you can kind of casually lie on it, you can sleep on it if you really want to. As I say, really simple construction. 3 boxes, effectively, with struts, each end and one in the middle, and those 3 are interconnected. With additional support struts, and as I say, the top will have the 18mm plywood on top. We'll cut some holes in that, obviously, to make sure it's well ventilated. Now at the moment I've got a couple of ideas about what to do with the back doors. I'm thinking actually at the moment, instead of having them opening sideways, to flip them open from the bottom upwards and have a little stand, and have a little cooking area, which will come out by about that much. Okay, so just to give you an idea at the front, I'm just going to give you a little bit of perspective. Okay, so there's the side door of the van, and it's pretty much level with that, just slightly over, but pretty much level with that. Difficult to see how much space you've got in the middle because I've got wood and obviously bits and pieces there. There's the kitchen. Enough room to obviously pull out anything that's underneath. And yeah, that's really it. Like I say, there won't be an awful lot of other living space, but I'm happy that this is You know, this Vivaro is you know, termed as a short wheelbase van, so it's not much bigger than a minivan. So what with that and the pop top, so still have plenty of space. I can use the end of the bed there to get up into the pop top area if need be as well. So this is going to be obviously, as I said, a fixed bed, and I do aim to obviously this frame here. The base will come out. I'm gonna toy with a couple of ideas, and I'll show you. I've got a couple of. I've designed it so one of the reasons that the front end is slightly bigger is so that if I take it out and turn the whole thing round, I could get it flush to one side over the wheel arch. That would be a 4-foot bed by 5 and a bit feet, and then I could use the bottom kind of cupboard doors here to flip out on a little stand to provide the extra for it to be a full-length bed that way. Or I could actually, just as I said before, I can make the base completely flush from side to side of the van. That would give me from corner to corner about 6'2" and a bit, and about 5 foot 4 inches across. So you know, plenty of room. I mean, I sleep in a ball pretty much, so I don't kind of stretch out. So for me, actually, that would be fine. And when you get the base on, it's deceiving when you just got the frame, but when you get the base on, you can really see how much space that gives you to sit on and lounge on. And the idea with this bed frame was always could sit up on the end there with the back doors open, could lounge on either side, you know, that way, sort of sit there, read a book. Could sit on the edge here and obviously be close enough to the cooker area, and I might do something with a small fold out table here so that there's you know, that just flips up, and I'll do something with the doors. I'm just playing with a few ideas at the moment. And then the big thing, not to have to kind of keep putting the bed up. Okay, this is with the I got just a couple of 4-foot pieces of ply that I had just to sort of lay out what the kind of the bed platform might look like. So you can see there's the overhang. It's fine. I can support that underneath and on the wheel arch. Same over there, and as you see, it gives quite a lot of space. It doesn't obviously. So at that point, I've got basically a 6'4.5" by just over 5 foot. So it's king size bed effectively. If you put the other cushion there and the same here, you can get 2 people in with basically a king size bed. Alternatively, I can just sleep in that on my own quite happily. So let's just have a quick look at the panels. Now this frame is completely free floating, and what I mean by that is that it's not held in, it's not fixed down at all. The middle panels over here, these panels here, that one and that one are fixed, but the other 2 panels, so I've got two flip ups. I've got one here which opens up, and I also have one on the end over there which flips up from the back. Same here, and obviously the same here again, flips up. Okay, you'll notice here that I've got the frame actually is smaller than the width of the van, and I've done that on purpose so that if I want to get the van out, if I want to get the bed out, all I need to do effectively is pull these up, because these actually come completely off, like so. Fold them up, store them away, and then the frame is just about the width to go through the doors, so that I can just there's 2 bolts holding the bed in at the end, 2 at the middle, and then 2 at the front end. So I can undo those 6 bolts and just remove the bed straight out the back doors, and obviously just removing these floating panels. Now, whilst the floating panels are held in place by the magnets in the corner, so got those holding them in place on each side. What I've also got I've got some locating dowels as well, which I'll show you those, and that just kind of stops the panels moving from side to side. Okay, So as you can see, when I open that up, we've got the and there is a dowel, as you can see, and that's just drilled. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There it is. So that's just a dowel. There's one at each end, and effectively there's a hole in the top of the ply board, and literally that just locates in the hole really simply, and that can't move at all. That's by the time you've got the mattress and stuff, stops it from sliding side to side, but you've still got the benefits of being able to move the panels really quickly, and obviously taking them away, folding them up, putting them in storage, and being able then to move the whole bed out of the van in its entirety, but still maintaining, you know, a pretty much a full-sized bed. As mentioned before, I've got these areas here. The doors will come up to here, which will go across the main frame, and I've also got these areas which I'm going to leave back to the footwells just for stuffing things in. As I said, shoes, poles, anything that you can sort of stuff down the side, actually in this little cubby hole, and I've got obviously likewise one at the other end down there. And I just find that they're really, you know, rather than boxing them off, I just find that they're really useful, just having that space just to stuff things down, rather than having dedicated kind of space that's segmented off. It's really sunny today, so I just have to excuse the sort of the shadows. So there's a compartment underneath. There will be I will put doors on these two areas, both at the back and at the front, and got exactly the same mechanism here where it opens up. You've got the magnets there, and the dowel, just locates in the hole there, and that's it. Can't move. Really quite simple, straightforward. Might also note that I've kept this really fairly straightforward, not too much compartmentalisation in here, because I just want to make sure I can maximise the storage by moving some stuff around if I need to. I've got straight through up there,